Hello and welcome back to my irregularly scheduled madness. Today I am procrastinating from my Feudal Guard project and working on some D&D minis that are some skinks from Warhammer and some of the Middle-earth battle strategy game Gondorians. I did not buy these. Both of these are a gift that I decided to build and paint just to give myself a break from 40k for a while. And then there's the model of the month, Kroot guy. You're not going to see them get painted, mostly because I only Zenithal'd them, but I thought you might be interested in seeing the, assembly line style painting that I did in my garage. As well as maybe having an answer for where I've been and what I've been doing with my massive breaks between uploads. We're getting ready for our second baby, so kind of slowing down on the hobby nonsense just so that I can be with the toddler now and kind of help my wife more. I gotta, focus on family. Can't focus on plastic toys too much. I decided to take these guys inside where I could admire them while I dry. I think the Zenithal came out a little too stark, too heavy. This is my boy cat, Oliver. And this is my girl cat, JB. They're very, very interested in the models, which are up on top of my heater. Like I said, the Zenithal is very dry and dusty. I think I was towards the bottom of the rattle can, and so the white didn't come out as good as it should have. Here we are doing the White King on foot from Age of Sigmar. I did buy this on purpose. This is not a gift. This is my favorite Age of Sigmar model, and is tempting me to start a SOULBLIGHT GRAVELORDS army. It has actually been so long since I started this video that I have since made some Black Knights using Perry Miniatures Knights and the skulls from the Citadel Skull kit. Some of them are nice, some of them are cracked, but kind of gives my Black Knights a knightly look versus kind of a ramshackle zombie look. And then I'm just cleaning up the sprue attachments on the White King now. I find that the sprue attachments aren't always in the best spot for a clean model, especially compared to like the Exaction Squad, which I think is a more modern kit that I did for my Feudal Scions Command Squad. I don't think I had any real awkward points there where if you messed up cleaning that, you could really see it, versus on the White King and the Scions and the Feudal Greatswords, or the Free Guild Greatswords, they have places where if you mess up, it's very obvious that the job was botched, you know what I mean? Another thing that I did while procrastinating was make this team of goblin hunters that I got as a gift from a friend and painted them up. This is Ignatius, the bomb thrower. This is Gabloinkus, just big hammer guy, dead goblin on his head. This is Ballista, fire hand. She's their ranged option. And this is unnamed human cleric number 5. He just heals them. That's his job. Back to the White King. We're cleaning up the sword now. You have to be very careful with swords because you can mess up the edge of the blade and it looks off if you have a big chunk missing. I'm not sure I did a particularly good job here. Maybe someday by the time I'm done making models, I'll actually have learned how to clean up a sword in such a way that doesn't make it look like there's a big old chunk missing out of it. Alternatively, all of my swords could have 1 notch of battle damage, and that might solve the problem too. I really am just building him how he comes out of the box. Warning to you, if you wanted to do a White King, the little pokey parts of his crown bend very easily, and I found that I had to bend them back into shape quite a few times as I'm pushing and pulling and prodding him. You can see that one's all messed up and going wonky. Yep, that one will call battle damage and not an accidental fat thumbing from what my uncle lovingly calls my orc hands. We watched one of my videos on his big screen TV, and it was like you could get lost in the cracks on my hands, and it wasn't something I had known to be self-conscious about. So yeah, thanks for that. Love that. It's great for me. I just cut forward some of the boring nonsense to focus on another difficult part is this little pole, and I found this is the same for flags or spears. Anything that's supposed to be a small little cylinder, I find that I end up almost making it a little hexagon or octagon in shape because I'm trying to shave off that nub, and it very obviously happens on the Wight King with this one where I take out too much. Yep, just keep carving at it. Maybe that'll make it better. Yep, that's perfect. So my reasoning to myself is if I take it out of the middle, now it looks like a bone. Yeah, that's a good idea. But you can see if you were a professional and did this for a living, you wouldn't do that I just did. But I'm not, so I can do whatever I want to ruin my plastic hobby army men. They're just toys at the end of the day, so I'm not too bothered by it if it comes out a little wonky. I decided to end the sprue cutting part with a win, where it's just nice, flat corners, no complicated shapes to have to navigate, just cutting off the edges and making it a nice base for him to stand on that doesn't look like it was chopped out of a sprue gate. After this, we can get onto the gluing, and I will talk a bit about why I use super glue instead of plastic glue. First of all, I can do this. Second of all, I like the idea that the two parts are stuck together but not melted together, which works against me in some places where there's like seams that are very obviously not one piece, but for things like arms or legs that might need to be taken off a few times, shaved down, repositioned, I like to have the glue just kind of snap off if, I apply enough pressure, which don't think happens with the plastic cement. There's also the fact that there aren't a lot of hobby stores around me, and those that there are 45 to an hour away, and if I can just get a thing of super glue or crazy glue or whatever kind of super glue I want when I go shopping for my normal like dollar store runs, it's much more convenient, and I find that I'm not hurt by the difference. I have friends who absolutely hate the plastic cement. I like it for when I have it, but I just don't have it, and I don't need to buy it when I can get regular super glue. Also, you noticed me wipe up a bit of the excess glue. I do that so that it's not sticking out and very obviously overflowing from the cracks, because it can leave a different texture or shape. I used to use like a paper towel or something, but I found that it left little white fibers. So if I just use my fingers, it doesn't leave the white fibers. Sure, it cracks up my fingers a little bit, and it kind of instantly dries, or it does something to the glue where it makes it look a little funky in the moment, but I'd rather have a little funky underneath something that I can't see than smooth, extra big glob that doesn't translate to anything on the miniature. Here we are just putting him back down on his base. I really like the skull in the little hourglass. It's very thematic for, an undead guy. And I'm just checking to make sure that he's fitting in the spot where I think he fits, because I've done that before, where I've been a little too gung-ho with the glue, and I glued something in the wrong orientation because I didn't think to dry fit it first. And next we'll do the painting. Next we're going to do the painting. I primed him black, and then I gave him a top-down zenithal. Same kind of problem where it turned out chunky. I ended up not seeing very much of the zenithal in the finished product anyway. I decided not to do the step-by-step on camera this time, just because I found it very difficult to keep the subject in focus, but also hit what I needed to with the paintbrush, but also not block the camera with my head. The part I'm simultaneously least and most proud of is the sword, just because I really like the transition from the green to black, but not necessarily the white line I managed to put in it. The fur looks really good. The kind of bluish gray armor I thought looked really good. kind of give them a cold steel kind of a look, or maybe like a dead gray. But yeah. In hindsight, I think I did the cloak backwards. I should have done the red on the inside and the black on the outside, but you know, live and learn. If you liked this video, please like, subscribe, comment, all that YouTube stuff. Or don't, you know, I'm not your dad. If you want to support me on Patreon, forget about it. I don't have one. Maybe someday, but for now, just do the normal YouTube stuff. Thank you. Have a good day.